initialized F sign. That means it's English influence. Before, deaf people are talking about their families. Here's all the examples. That means family. But this sign was created after the contact of English and ASL. Peter. Yep. That's explain by example. That's the feature of ASL. So, do deaf people sign family? Yes, they do. Yes, but not all of them. Another one is the concept of the label that we use for pets, right? So, we've created a sign for it, pets. And you'll see deaf people use pets. But if you are really interpreting, you're really thinking about meaning only and not the word, you would say, explain by example. That means pets. Hamster, hamster. It's fine. Yeah. But again, what is it? It's the letter H for hamster. So rat, hamster. Okay, those are initialized from English influence. Jewelry. Again, an English label for a group of things. Okay. In ASL, I don't fingerspell jewelry. I said that means jewelry. I'm explaining the concept by examples. And then I don't have to fingerspell the word, because there's no sign for jewelry. There's no ASL sign for jewelry. Okay, explain by example. Structures, buildings, vehicles. You'll hear that a lot. So the city of Chicago has required a new ordinance on personal vehicles. Explain by example. Get it? Instead of going, you don't have to. Explain by example. Okay? The only time that you will not want to explain by example is if you are in a courtroom, in a deposition, in the police station, in a legal setting, and someone is being asked about the weapon or their weapon of choice. All right? So if I'm interpreting for a criminal case and the police officer asks Ethan, what weapon did you use to kill Brenna? I can't go, here's my clue? Yeah, I've done that before. You've heard this joke. But, because now what have I done?
You've put ideas in the brain.
So he might go, no, I didn't. Because he knows that he used a machete or something. And I didn't give him that option. So in a legal setting, I can't restrict the items by using explain by example. I have to give him a category, or I have to leave it blank. You killed her how? You killed her using what? Or I can fingerspell weapon, meaning something you used to kill her. I have to explain it because I can't lead the witness by giving them the options. Does that make sense? Really cool stuff, huh? No? It's pretty good. Pretty cool. All right, we're almost done. Describe and then do. Show, don't tell. This is actually tell and show. Okay? This is constructed action, constructed dialogue. All right? You are going to physically do whatever it is that you're trying to describe. What did somebody just say over there? Did I hear an SH?
I'm sorry, I
word?
thought I lost my wallet. That was me.
Okay, but you said the SH?
I did.
Because that's the example that I was going to use. I don't know. I was like, describe and then do. I'm describing, I need to use the bathroom. Now I'm going to show you physically, it's the only first thing that I could come up with. And then she yells back there. Okay? One of the toughest things for us, our bodies don't work this way. We don't do this in English. I mean, unless you're, you know, an improv specialist or you're a dance major, maybe you're used to expressing yourself physically. In English, in the mainstream hearing world, we don't do this. We use our words and we talk to each other. But remember the difference between the two languages. ASL is visual. You want people to understand, show the concept. Do it. Good? Question? I'm getting tired of talking. Almost done. Oh, this is the worst. This is the worst. This is the utmost, top of the line, hardest thing for interpreters to do. You will not master this technique before you graduate from this program, I'm sorry to say. 10 years from now, you're still going to be making the same mistakes. It's just the way it is. In ASL, you see this. And we say, the mom said to her son, "Sweetheart, please drink your milk." See how I went into first person? I became the mother, and I'm telling you the dialogue. We don't talk that way in English. Okay. I'll give you an example. Last night my husband and I had this ridiculous argument. He was so upset because the house wasn't clean, and I was like reminding him that I work for a living as well, and we just went back and forth continuously. That's how we talk in English, right? So if you see role shifting and direct dialogue, you have to change it into third person in English. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so see, quote, the mom told, quote, that's role shift. You assume the character and you do the dialogue. But when you interpret it into English, it's got to be third person. It should sound like the mother told her son she wanted him to drink his milk. Not the mother said, comma, quote, drink your milk. It's important for your body. No, Mom, I don't want to. If you're interpreting into English with that direct dialogue, it's going to sound funny. You're going to lower the register. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But no, we don't talk in dialogue. So I wasn't like, okay, close your eyes. Brenna, last night my husband Dave and I had this argument. He was like, sweetheart, I love you and all, but the house is filthy and I don't know what you're doing. You're here all day and you haven't cleaned it. And I was like, you know, dude, I work for a living too. Just because it's only 3 days and I don't make as much money as you. Okay, do we talk like that? Sometimes in very intimate situations, if we were like really good girlfriends, and I might tell her the dialogue and what someone said. But we usually don't interpret in those intimate conversations. We interpret to an audience. One of the first things you learn to do really well in ASL is role shift, right? Don't y'all feel like you got it? You got it. Role shifting is easy. You hear the mother told her son she wanted him to drink his milk, and you automatically go like this. Automatically we switch into role shift, which is perfect. That's a good skill. It's a strong skill for interpreters, going from English into ASL. But again, back to like what we said, Jessica, about what you see, you automatically want to voice into English. So you see the role shift and you want to start talking in first person. And then he said, blah, 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 and then she said, and then Tommy told his mom, and then she said. We have to back off, watch the story and the dialogue, and then summarize it into appropriate English in third person, not first person. It's tough. It is tough. I still fall into this category where I see someone role shifting and I start talking dialogue. It happens. It's hard. Because you see it, because ASL is so visual and role shifting is so clear that you automatically want to go into, but it's like how many of you use the word like all the time? Okay. If you do that while you're interpreting, you're bringing down the register. That's casual conversation. If I'm telling you about the dialogue, that's casual conversation. But it's a feature of ASL. So it doesn't mean that a deaf person who's using role shifting is presenting casually. That's part of ASL. So they could be giving a formal presentation and within that presentation using role shifting. But you can't say it as first person dialogue. Question? Oh, you're gonna catch yourselves from now on every time you do it. You're gonna be like,